2024 was certainly an interesting year for movies. We laughed, we cried, we debated the pros and cons of a lot of different films that released both in theaters and straight to streaming. But now we need to look to the future, and that's exactly what I'm going to do in this video as I give you my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2025. And if you decide to stick around and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so they stay in your feed, you might catch my next video, the top 10 movies I think are gonna suck in 2025. But let's get positive right now with the list. Two years ago, a little gem came out called Megan. It was a simple premise about a cute doll that could do a bunch of tasks around the house and really relate to the child on a personal level. Megan was kind of a modernized version of Child's Play, which is kind of funny because there was a modern version of Child's Play already with that not so great remake a few years back. But I think Megan really nailed the tone properly. There's lots of humor, there was a slick presentation, and of course there was that iconic meme where she's dancing in the hallway right before killing some people. The only drawback for that film was that PG-13 rating. They tried to trick us and say that there was an R-rated version direct to streaming, which had like 5 seconds more of blood. It was ridiculous. The reason it's on here is because Smile 2 convinced me you can go way crazier with a sequel, and I'm hoping that's exactly what Megan does. We do have the same writer and director coming back, and I hope to the gods that they are not going to go all in on AI. I think that's a huge mistake. We saw that last year with Blumhouse's crappy Afraid movie that wasn't scary at all, because AI and computer bad guys just are not that fun to watch. Keep Megan intact, give her some catchphrases, put it in an interesting setting, and you're gonna have my attention. In the number 9 spot, for no reason at all, is Predator Badlands, because top 10 lists are kind of bullshit for me. I want to put out 10 movies to talk about. The order is inconsequential. I'm incredibly excited for this movie without knowing almost anything about it, other than Elle Fanning is cast, and we have the creative team from the last movie, Prey, coming back again. I'm pretty sure it has nothing to do with Prey, though. It's going to be its own thing, and I'm very cool with that. I like these standalone stories within the Predator universe, and I like a simple hunting focus for these films. The best ones are Predator and Prey. When they get too out there, when they scale up too much, it loses the focus and it loses the whole hunter concept. But the action in Prey was really fantastic. There was a lot of creativity on display. I love the idea of incorporating animals into this somewhat with his hunts. Elle Fanning is a terrific actress. I have zero issues with her being in it. I think she's gonna help carry the film. And out of all the movies on this list that I'm covering, this one gives me the least amount of concern. I think I'm gonna go to this and have a great time, just based on Prey. Predator Badlands releases November 7th, and I'll probably release then as well, if you catch my drift. That's disgusting. A couple years back, there was a culling over at Warner Brothers. A lot of films were left to slaughter. That Batgirl movie was deleted from existence. There was an animated Looney Tunes film on the chopping block too. And yet somehow, out of nowhere, there's another animated Looney Tunes movie that made it through the ringer. And it's scheduled for February 28th. It's called The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. They released a clip a few months back featuring Porky Pig and Daffy Duck up to their old antics, fixing up a house. It was hilarious. It was creative. I'm all in. I love the 2D animation. It feels like it's been forever since I've seen this traditionally hand-drawn stuff on the big screen. I'm in. This would not be a proper most anticipated films list without something from A24. And that's what I'm bringing you, Death of a Unicorn. And the movie is exactly that. We're seeing the literal death of a unicorn. Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd accidentally hit this poor majestic creature with their car, and they have to find its sanctuary. And judging from the trailers, this mythological beast is going to be on full display, and it's not quite the pretty looking picture we maybe have in our minds. It's not the children's storybook tale you remember. I love me a dark comedy, and Death of a Unicorn looks to be right up my alley. I'm getting pretty horny just thinking about it. Unicorn pun. Subscribe. It's been kind of a tough go lately for the MCU. Yeah, Disney's doing fine. They're still making billions with their Deadpool and Wolverines and their Spider-Man films. But then in between, you have these shit shows like Thor, Love and Thunder, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Shidia, that Eternals thing that everyone forgot about 5 seconds after it hit theaters. But the Thunderbolts, for some reason, has caught my eye. I like myself a good ensemble film, and that's what we have here. The ragtag, James Gunn-esque vibe going on in the trailers has me hooked. We have kind of a C-Squad scenario playing out where we have got together some of the best of what's left to join forces for a Thunderbolts * movie. And when I reference James Gunn, I absolutely mean it. This looks like the Suicide Squad 2.0. From the trailer, I'm getting a grounded vibe. Yes, there's explosions, there's larger-than-life things happening, but it looks a lot more practical than what we've been getting the last few years with all the green screen shenanigans. Whether or not that's some state-of-the-art trickery going on, I don't care, it's convincing me. And this really matters if you're trying to actually connect with some of the characters in the film. Loud noises and colorful effects can only take you so far. And because we got a good team of actors here, we have hopefully a solid script, I'm excited for this one, and as of now, it's scheduled to come out May 2nd. In the number 5 spot, we have a mission so possible, they've done it 8 times now. I mean, at some point, you just have to retitle it Mission Possible, right? And it sounds like this might not actually be the last time we see Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt. They're certainly portraying it that way by calling it Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, but the door, according to the director, is still very much open. Now, even though this doesn't have part 2 on the title, it very much is a direct continuation of the last film, which was called Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. It was actually at the end of the title, and it annoys the crap out of me that we couldn't just put the part 2 on there. But the evil boogeyman of direct sequels has gotten to Hollywood, and so now they're leaving the part off of the title. That's why Wicked is not called Wicked Part 2, it's gonna be called Wicked for Good. Make it make sense. We do kind of know what we're getting into here, since it is gonna play off of the last movie, and they have released a lengthy trailer. I mean, I don't know how lengthy it is, because 50% of it is Tom Cruise just running fast, but I get that they're trying to keep it very secretive. There was call-outs to the older films telling me that maybe this is gonna all tie together somehow. I'm interested, I'm fascinated. That's redundant, but I'm all in. I love pretty much all the Mission Impossible movies. 2 is really stupid, but I tolerate it. I forgive it. It's part of the franchise. It's like the black sheep of the family that you just have to embrace, even with all of his quirks. And your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to see it in theaters May 23rd. You know I will. You know, I'm a sucker for a good dinosaur film. We don't get a lot of them, and typically when we do, they have Jurassic at the beginning of the title. 3 Jurassic Park movies, 3 Jurassic World films. And overall, one amazing movie, a couple passable ones, and then a lot of shit. And on the shit side of things, we have the last 2 Jurassic World movies. They're bad, okay? They're just terrible. And even though I am scared that this has world in the title, it is Jurassic World Rebirth. That says to the audience, hey, we're kind of starting over again. Scarlett Johansson's gonna be in this, so I'm already 100% interested. More importantly, we have the director behind Godzilla, Rogue One, and the creator helming this project. He makes gorgeous looking films. And on top of that, we have the original writer from Jurassic Park doing the script. And then of course, Michael Crichton also gets a credit because he wrote the original novel it was all based off of. This is very positive news for me. As someone who adores the original Jurassic Park, favorite movie of all time, we got Spielberg producing, which is pretty much useless because he produces all of them, I believe. But still, having this whole dynamic come together, I think we're in for a really good Jurassic World film. And for the Jurassic World franchise, it's about time.
Running Man.
If you followed me for a while, I'm not a huge fan of reboots, but this one is based on a book. I have no doubt in my mind it's going to be completely unique and nothing like the last one with Arnold Schwarzenegger because of the director. This is an Edgar Wright vehicle. I think one of the most creative directors currently working in Hollywood. The guy gave me Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. He did Baby Driver. He probably is responsible for the only good parts in Ant-Man, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz. The guy really doesn't miss. Now, if that's not doing it for you already, don't you worry. because we got Glenn Powell in this thing. Everybody's favorite actor, Glenn Powell. He's gonna be in The Running Man. Yep, yeah. Listen, I don't get the dude. I don't get the appeal. I also don't hate him. He's like the Olive Garden of actors. When you're with him, you're family. Pretty much nothing else is known about this dystopian flick, but I have everything I need to make up my mind. I'm running to the theaters to see this. Keep doing play on words, I guess. It's been a minute since we've had a good Frankenstein film, but if there's gonna be anyone that can do it properly, it's gonna be Guillermo del Toro. And that's exactly who's helming the next Frankenstein film. I don't believe there's a release date, and I don't think really anything is known about this film, but this guy has crafted some amazing films. I have no doubt he's gonna put everything into this picture. And I believe it's gonna be in black and white like the original monster movie was. This is the same director that brought us Blade 2, Hellboy 2. He really likes doing those sequels, I guess. Pacific Rim. He did not do the sequel for, so never mind. The Shape of Water, and the criminally overlooked Nightmare Alley. The guy also did Mimic, which is actually a pretty creepy-ass film from the 90s. And I think they made a bunch of crappy sequels, but I'm getting off topic. Frankenstein is gonna be amazing. I'm already saying it. This is gonna be everything for me that Nosferatu should have been. Yeah, I'm still bitter about that film. Let's go to the number one. And in my number one spot, we have a new Superman film releasing July 11th, directed by James Gunn, setting up the brand new DC universe of films. We already have a TV show that's been released, an animated thing, but this is for all the marbles, folks. This one has to do huge numbers. It has to set a standard for what people should expect going forward. It has to cleanse the palate of what came before with the Snyder universe that Warner Brothers completely botched over the years. We have a trailer. It looks very promising. There is a shit ton going on, arguably too much, but I have a feeling a good chunk of that is a straight up montage of Superman being established already. He's been around for a while. He's saved the day several times over. And Lex Luthor is going to be the big bad focus for this film and nothing else. That's just my theory. We have a new Superman. We have a new Lois Lane. We have a new everything here. All right, we are starting over. We even have his dog, Crypto, in the film. This may have dark elements, but it's clearly going for a more uplifting, colorful, vibrant feel. And for a Superman movie, that feels right. He's a challenging character to bring to the screen, but if anyone can do it, if anyone knows how to make characters likable, even the worst of the worst, it's James Gunn. In this instance, he's dealing with the best of the best, so it should be super easy for him. But maybe that's where the problem will lie. Who knows? But it's very much my most anticipated movie of 2025. There's a ways to go before we get there. In the meantime, I have no doubt that every month there's going to be some fun movies released, possibly even amazing movies. Last year, my top 3 films weren't ones that I was even expecting to love or even knew about going in. You can check that video out, along with a bunch of other top 10s I recently have done. Again, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel, like this video if you enjoyed it, and hopefully I see you next time. Take care. Thanks again for watching the video. If you wouldn't mind, I would appreciate it if you checked out patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. That's where fans of my channel go to help support it. There are different tiers with different offerings, exclusives every month. We got multiple movie reviews. There's a vlog monthly, and these fine people get a shout out because they're at the upper tier level. Look at these gorgeous folks. They have really gone above and beyond to help support me in the channel, and I appreciate them. And even if you don't want to plop down $1 a month, you can just sign up for Patreon for free and become a member at no charge, just to see what's showing up at least and give you a better sense of it all. Appreciate your time. Thanks.